Here in Parliament House, there's been a lot of talk about AUKUS this month, and that's because it was pretty much the biggest focus of Labor's national conference. So the question is, what now?
We have always played our part because Australia is a serious global citizen.
First, what you need to understand about conference is that it happens every few years and decides on the policies for the Labor Party that pretty much bind it to this term. Now, AUKUS was the sticking point between these delegates because a lot of them, particularly from the left, have a big problem with nuclear energy, which of course is what we're planning to have power those new submarines to be delivered under this deal, which we've got with the US and the UK. Unions like the Electrical Trade Union and the CFMEU tried to get reference to nuclear submarines taken out of the platform, and they even had the support of Labor MP Josh Wilson. Now, that effort pretty much came to nothing. Those who wanted nuclear submarines taken out of the platform just got outvoted. That means that even if there's a change in leader or ministers, this is what the party has committed to. But the debate over AUKUS didn't just end when National Conference did. The main thing that people kept talking about was this speech made by Defence Industry Minister Pat Conroy, who spoke in favour of AUKUS and essentially slapped those down who really didn't like it. And the way he did that is kind of by calling them appeasers because of their opposition to this deal, and even comparing them to Liberal Prime Minister Robert Menzies, or, for a UK example, Neville Chamberlain.
Provides a strong deterrent for the Australian Defence Force against any potential aggressor.
Now, those that were against AUKUS, which are people from the left of the party, were pretty outraged by this comparison and thought that Conroy just went too far, that the speech he gave was unnecessary and it really stoked division. And there's people pointing out that if Conroy needs to, work with some of these members of the left in the near future, it might be a bit harder. Now, evidently, this sentiment was pretty obvious to Conroy because just a few days after National Conference, he came out to really clarify his speech. He said that he wasn't actually referring to delegates or people in the room. He was talking about other people who are opposed to AUKUS. Now, some were suspicious that he meant he was talking to big anti-AUKUS supporters from within the Labor Party, like former Labor Prime Minister Paul Keating, who's called AUKUS the worst deal in Australia's history. Conroy, though, tried to clarify that he was talking to people right outside the conference, like those protesting outside of it with banners and flags and signs saying that AUKUS shouldn't go ahead and ban nuclear power. So while the platform is decided and AUKUS is pretty much all systems go with submarines to be delivered in 20 or 30 years, there's still some fallout after conference on this topic, with comments comparing left delegates to the Liberal PM Robert Menzies not soon to be forgotten.